What is going on, everybody? I somewhat debated about even making this video, but since this channel is all about sharing my personal home fitness journey and evolution alongside providing you guys some simple and practical tips, I thought it made sense to share or give an update how I've been using specifically my Total Gym, but also how my general workouts have been changing recently. But of course, you guys can take it or leave it. I would love to hear what you guys are doing currently and maybe how your Total Gym or Isometrics training or just home fitness evolution has kind of evolved yourselves. I will certainly answer and address any questions you guys have down below in the comment section. If you guys do want to pick up anything featured in this video, greatly helps support me and the channel. I will link everything you guys can see here down below in the description box. So specifically in this video, I want to talk about how I've been incorporating my Total Gym or Isometrics training alongside my X3 bar, or you can just say variable resistance using a bar and some resistance bands, and then also adding in isometrics. Now I want to make this somewhat of a general overview also because I haven't fully fleshed out what I've been doing over a long period of time. Maybe in the future I can make a more detailed program if you guys are interested. Now, just to summarize what I've been doing with my workouts up front, I first will start out with a Total Gym or Isometrics trainer, then I will transition into one working set on my X3 bar, and then I'll wrap it up with some isometrics. I'm still doing more or less an upper and lower body split. And depending on the day, my workouts can be as short as 15 minutes, but can go upwards as long as 60 minutes, but that's also factoring general setup in between exercises. Now getting into some minor specifics, first starting off with my Total Gym or Isometrics training. And granted, this could change a little bit because I'm discovering a lot of cool and unique features with this Total Gym GTS that I recently reviewed. So things might change a little bit, but primarily I'm jumping here, like I said, as the start of my workout, maybe for 10 to 15 minutes, hitting all those primary foundational exercises and movement patterns that I stressed to you guys where I think it really shines in this machine. So a variety of pushing, pulling, single joint kind of auxiliary exercises. I don't want to say this thing is really a warm up for those other exercises. It can sometimes seem like that. I'm putting this really at a lower setting. I'm not really pushing it too hard just because I know I'm saving that for like the X3 and the isometrics. At least that's what I've been doing recently. But certainly there are some exercises where I will dial up the tension and intensity, but those are our exercise and movement patterns that I know aren't getting hit as much on those other modes like the X3 and just isometric movements. I will say the lower body, to be completely honest, has been really neglected on my Total Gym. I've been just really deferring back to my X3 and the isometrics, but that might change given, again, the nature of the GTS capabilities and what I might do in the future. But primarily, it's been upper body focused on the Total Gym and not doing as much in the lower body. Once I'm done with the Total Gym training, I then will transition to my X3 bar, which you guys are new to the channel or following along. You guys know I've essentially become really obsessed with this, made a whole separate playlist because I am so in love with this kind of method in training and just this particular device and how it feels. But I've been still following my BBB program, made a whole video on how I've been using that. I'm using the same kind of exercises and more or less the sequence. The only difference I've been changing recently is I've just been experimenting with doing one working set, which is honestly huge for me, guys. And this considerably has dropped my overall exercise volume down exponentially. But I'm finding a lot of great progress, especially when I'm supplementing and pairing it with my Total Gym and also isometrics. But I am more or less sticking to those staples for an upper body, doing bicep curls, bent over rows, the chest presses, overhead presses, maybe the occasional shrug, but then maybe tricep extension or press downs on the pull-up bar. And then for the lower body, I'm either just doing squats or split squats, and then deadlifts and calf raises. And then finally, I will wrap it up with isometrics, but you certainly can make the case where you could actually put isometrics in the front end. Now, if I'm doing upper body, I actually tend to still gravitate towards using the X3 with the various strap setups that I've been reviewing recently. If you guys have been following the channel, I'll link them down below, but primarily I've been using the IsoFlow. I got some other straps I'll be recommending and using in the future on a foot plate for things like hard bicep curls, bent over rows, overhead presses. I did review the IsoMax and Iso Chain, but honestly, I've just been diverting because it's easier just to be using the strap type setup. I also think you get a little more activation using that solid bar though, but that's just my own personal opinion, but you certainly can just use handles as well. I have been using some smaller things like my Bullworker, sometimes not off the workouts, but then this Iso Bow I've been utilizing a little bit, but primarily, believe it or not, I really do like this funky isokinator for the upper body specifically, and I tend to always want to gravitate towards this towards the end of a workout, and it just seems to put that nail in the coffin, especially in those upper body exercise and movements. So for whatever it's worth, I reviewed this thing. It is really cool. It's super expensive, but I do use this thing a lot. But then on those lower body days, I pretty much will just stick to using the straps for deadlifts and isometric squats. And with isometrics, I won't get into it in this video. There's all different schools of thought as far as going into like 70% effort versus max effort. And I'll just say I'm pretty much been mixing up both of those. In wrapping up, I'd say the biggest change that I've been doing, especially compared to last summer, other than like ditching cardio, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. I just have been bad about doing that recently. The biggest substantial change I've really been doing is adding more variable resistance training through the X3 bar and also isometrics. I say substantial because I have been incorporating and dabbling in other little things, but they've really been peppered here and there. Really nothing has given my total gym a run for the money these last 3+ years, other than this X3 bar and really isometrics. But by blending all three of these modes together, it's greatly reduced not only my time on the total gym, but just my overall workout and exercise time, and definitely my total training volume. I've still been just using my intuitive approach, which you guys know I love and tend to recommend on the channel, with the only minor exception is I'm starting to track my exercises on the X3 using their X3 app, which I do like. But that's really it, guys. A lot of you guys have been asking what I've been doing recently, so that's really it. I can go in more detail down below in the comment section. If you guys have any other questions, comments, feedback, again, love to hear what you guys are doing, especially incorporating with the total gym or body weight training. Let me know. I will see you guys on the next video.